Good morning. Today I'm going to discuss breaking the paradigm of grade levels. Uh, the idea of no child left behind is admirable in that we don't want to uh, disclude any students from an education, but the idea of putting the round block through the square hole or the star-shaped block through the square hole, it's causing a lot of friction and doing a lot of damage, and it's just bad. Now, the traditional concept of grade levels is a bad idea, okay? And the idea of a uh, concrete framework or structure, I think, would be better off replaced by a more fluid sort of framework. Uh, I'm going to use math as my primary example, although um, writing and reading could also be um, subjected to the same ideology. So, my idea is this: we really need to thoroughly test the students and figure out which students know what. The testing is so important to assess what the students know. Okay? Then the students are going to be grouped according to their ability, not by their age. You know. Now, our teaching staff for the math department, this is where the fluid framework part comes in. Okay, they're one big team. They're not grade levels anymore. Every math teacher, boom, it's one big team. And they're going to look at the math matrix and slice it up, and each one's going to take a section of the matrix. Now, what happens if there's, 800 kids in this section, and then, very few in the other ones? Well, you have 3 or 4 teachers working in that area. Now, granted, there is a little bit of cultural decoding which is going to have to transpire here, because some students are just ready to learn, and it's because of their home culture. Other students are not so ready to take on math because of their home culture. And I'm not judging the cultures, it's just the way it is. Some parents work so much, they have to make ends meet, and they really can't put the time into training their child and sort of programming their child about the importance of education. And maybe some people don't believe in the importance of education. I mean, it's really not that important to some people, you know but in order for each child to have the same opportunities, it is important that they get a fundamental uh, education, concerning math and reading and writing. So another aspect of this cultural decoding is to respect the children's sovereignty. Okay, when one human tells another human, "You must do this," there's friction. Nobody likes being told what to do. I mean, that's just a basic sociological premise. I wouldn't say fact, because there's always the exception to the rule, or there's usually an exception to the rule, or a rule. Um, so this cultural decoding and respect for sovereignty entails that a student needn't go to class if they don't want to. Now, I know they need to be at school because the parents are working, and it's our responsibility to be the caretakers of the children as well as educate them, which is a fact of life in our society. But we need to have a place for students to go where they can just hang out, maybe do sporting activities, maybe some sort of crafts or whatever. We need to have a couple of options, you know, to satisfy the major types of students. There's athletic students that want to go maybe play some sort of sports. There's students that are going to want to hang out and just talk. There's students that are going to want to go surf the internet or look at their little device and go on Facebook all day. Now, if that's what a student wants to do, I see no problem with that. Uh, as long as they're, if a student's gonna go to one of these options instead of going to class, and then continue to be inappropriate, which would be playing too much, getting physical, playing, slapping around, fighting, not respecting the school culture, then they're gonna have to go home or go to jail or what. I don't know, man. But we can't tolerate that. Okay, we're giving them the option there. They go to. You want to go to class to learn, good. But if you're coming to class to do anything but be focused and learn, you're out of there. You're going to one of these other places, man. Because we want children that are focused on learning, and not everybody can learn every day. I mean, some days you got a bad day. And so we need to give them an option so that it can be their choice to be there to learn. We have to respect their sovereignty, and that is going to make a big difference. Students will see there's no more grade levels. After they learn that segment of the matrix, they progress to the next segment, which is contingent upon learning this first body of knowledge. And that gives that body of knowledge relevance as well, because you need it to go on to the next one. Another important issue, which is going to take our education system to a higher level and just scrape it right out of this mucky existence that it's in now, is the food, okay, and the exercise. Our students need to be running on good food and they need to be healthy. We can't have these kids shoveling chips and this junk, man, this processed manufactured food down their pie hole, and man, it's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous, man. The snack machines. And, snack machines irritate me too because there's a lot of waste involved here. All the packaging, all those little bags. These